and it's blue. Let's have it right. Up the Chelsea, up the Middles FC. Let's have it right. Middles FC. You got the minerals, yeah? Love it. Got the minerals, TT.
Hey, Johnny's got the fucking minerals, mate.
So have it right. Up the Chelsea, up the Minerals FC. Hope everyone is doing good. Big up to every single one of you in here. A slightly earlier stream than usual. Got some things to do, but let's have it right. I've just got back and I need to learn the minerals. I need to talk about Chelsea. I've had a well-deserved break, and it was class. Obviously, it was quality, and I've come back, being over there, watching England play and Mount come on and change the game, bagging a goal, landing the minerals, and then we beat Crystal Palace in the last sort of couple of minutes. Absolute quality. And then obviously last night. So we'll get into it. But first and foremost, everyone that's in here, like and subscribe. Very important. Please like the video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Get me to the 4K, guys. Get me to the 4K. Big up to all you guys in here. A lot to talk about. I've missed out a lot of things, but I'm just going to run into it and go with the flow. Guys, also I've got the membership, which is pinned in the live chat. Please feel welcome to join the Minerals FC community. Big up to all my members, as always. Big up to all you guys in here. I'll run through your comments very quickly, and we'll get straight into it. RD's in here. Minerals FC, I expect better from you like others did, using Pulisic to score points for Mount. Come on, Minerals, you're better than this. Well, listen, I'm not saying anything that's wrong, really. My thing is, everyone was like, Pulisic came on against Crystal Palace and got an assist, but, you know, it was quite a fluky assist. He miscontrolled the ball. Gallagher, he was behind Gallagher's feet. He had to get it into position and then score an unbelievable goal. So I wouldn't read too much into Pulisic coming on. Other than that, what did he do? Nothing. Everyone was like, yeah. He's got to play next game. What happens? He's holding bench. He's clearly not trusted by Graham Potter. And he didn't even come on as part of the 5 substitutions. So it tells you everything. It's also about work rate off the ball. Even though you're 3-0 up, it's work rate off the ball. Has he got that? Not really for me. Not really. But anyway, we move on. Big up Leo, my geezer, up the Minerals. Lovely to see you in here. Tar, my member, lovely to see you in here, geezer. Absolutely don't like the hate Mendy gets from Chelsea fans, and this is on Twitter. I don't know about other platforms. He really doesn't deserve it. Hope it doesn't affect him reading all that hate. Well, listen, there's a lot of hate on the timeline. There's a lot of nonsense. There's a lot of plastic fans, people, that are out there talking absolute garbage. I got laughed at last season when Kepa had a few good performances, I said, Mendy's got something to look over his shoulder there, and people were having a dig at me. Well, at the moment, I generally do think that. I think Kepa's kept a clean sheet. I think the goal against Crystal Palace wasn't much he could do about that. Last night, he made one pivotal save, which would have made it 1-1. And obviously, the shot after that save, because he really pushed, he saved it towards the AC Milan player, and he just ballooned it, which was in our favour, obviously. But overall, I think Kepa's been pretty good. And listen, let's have it right. We've won 2 games on the bounce. Whether we play convincingly or not, it's about bagging the 3 points, and we've done that. And that's the most important thing at this stage. We're still in massive transition. We've changed managers, as we all know. Everyone's getting a feelers now of new tactics, new style of play, a slight adjustment to style of play, adjusting to the new backroom staff. Quick succession. We've had an international break, so the players haven't been able to work with Graham Potter. So we've got all these issues, yet we have performed we've given 2 fantastic performances in the sense that we've grinded it out, we dug out our minerals, and we won those 2 games. And let's have it right, they were must-win games. Crystal Palace, a must-win game, because we can't afford to drop any more points. And I think, what are we now? 5 points? If we win our game in hand, are we 4 points behind City and Arsenal? So we're not far off, guys. It's not all doom and gloom, how all the brown envelopes and how all these tosspots on the other platforms down toward Thomas Tuchel saying how, we're out of the water, we're not even going to make top 4, and we've only played 5 games. We've got 31 games to play in the Premier League, and everyone's wetting their pants thinking we're not going to make top 4. Let's have a bit of perspective here. Let's understand that this is a transitional period. Let's have it right. We've changed managers as well on top of this. So all of a sudden, the mood has changed, hasn't it, with Graham Potter, than what it was like under Tuchel. It's changed, and now he's winning a few games. It's changing the mindset of the fans, or certain fans. Realistic fans, I don't know. There's so many plastics out there, people. We have to be very, very careful what we read and try not to read into the garbage, because there's a lot of nonsense. I saw, before I get into it, let's move on anyway. Big up to you, Tar. Half Splendid, up the Minerals FC, back 4 merchants in the mud. They are in the mud. You see all these large platforms and all these so-called fans on the timeline play the back 4, play the back 4. Well, we saw us play back 4 against Crystal Palace. I don't think we played particularly well against Crystal Palace, if I'm being honest. And there were a few performances there that weren't very good. And we got away with it with a wonder strike and a moment. Well, when I was in the pub on holiday, and I was actually, funny enough, I was sitting right beside a couple, and the geezer was a Chelsea season ticket holder. Worked that one out. And we had a good chat about the game. But I said to him, who's going to dig out the minerals? Who's got it in him to bring it out and get the 3 points? And obviously it was Connor. But the thing that pissed me off, why didn't he celebrate? Why? Because of your temping role at Crystal Palace. Fuck that. That's a last minute winner for your parent club. You're trying to make it at Chelsea. You should be celebrating that. All respect goes out the window. How many strikers we've seen go to different football clubs and score goals, and then they most of them do celebrate, and there's some that don't. It depends. If you've been at a club for a long period of time and you've got a loyalty and a respect, I get that. But you've been there for 5 minutes on loan. You should be celebrating that goal with the Chelsea fans. Fucking wonderful goal that was. So that's my only criticism, really. Not really football related. It's just Connor in the future, when he plays Crystal Palace again, he's got to land the minerals and express himself. And I felt like when he came on, I had a feeling he was going to score a goal, because he knows that ground. He knows how to hit it and score there at Selhurst Park. And he did that. And sometimes you need that. And credit to Graham Potter for switching a few little things tactically and bringing on some fresh legs. And it did. It changed dynamics, and it helped us get through. We didn't play particularly well, but, and also Uber fucking Minerals Yang. Let's have it right. He landed the Minerals. Back-to-back goals, guys. Our number 9 has got back-to-back goals. Clear of the cement-booted fraud, this geezer. Absolutely miles clear. There's no debate about it. No debate. And I'm very excited with Aubameyang. I do expect him to score a lot of goals, but I think the fact that he's got 2 back-to-back goals in 2 big games, crucial goals. We were 1-0 behind at Crystal Palace. He scored the equaliser. And then obviously last night the 2-0, the second goal, which absolutely kills the game after having the chance when Kepa made the save, where AC Milan had a chance, a double chance. So he's clinical, guys. He's got the clinical minerals, and I'm very excited with that. I'm very, very excited with that. But we'll run into that more and more. CFC King says, big up Johnny Minerals, big up to you. My guy, Stratters, my geezer, big up Johnny, lands everywhere he goes. €2. My geezer, I surprised him on holiday, didn't have a clue what was going on, left him a bottle of Dead Man Fingers. Yeah, everyone knows about that drink. That's the dark rum, that's the minerals there. I went and got it at the airport, landed at the hotel, got the reception to call him in. He thought, who's leaving me a gift at the reception? And then straight away, I come out. Let's have it right. Up the Chelsea, up the Minerals FC. He was like, what the fuck is going on? Yes, Johnny, let's go. And we landed it on holiday. Big up to Stretters, my geezer. And let's have it right. He predicted in the England game, before we watched the England game, he said, I fancy Mace to score, Mount to score, and Kai Havertz to get 2 goals. And 3-3 predicted, and he did bet it, guys. He did bet it. I said it on my last video when I was on the beach, but big up to Stretters. Chronic's in here. Big up Johnny. Fucking Minerals, missed you, geez. I've missed everyone, geezer. I've missed absolutely everyone. Question, what stand are you usually in when you're at the bridge? I mean, it varies. I've been shared Matthew Harding, predominantly I like Matthew Harding, a few times east, but predominantly Matthew Harding, geezer. What's it, Mixter Miguel? Big up to you. Hi, I hope you had a good eye. I did, geezer. John CFC, afternoon, Johnny. Big ball. What a win, mate. It was a massive win, guys. I am buzzing. I can't tell you. Like, this is these 2 results are huge for our season. They're huge for Graham Potter. I mean, last night especially was an absolute must win. That game last night, if we drawn or lost that game, you know what the narrative's going to be. You know how this fan base are. They're so fickle. They're fragile. They're like little princesses. You know, they panic at the panic stations. But Potter landed Minerals last night, and he got the 3 points. And convincingly, we got the 3 points. So now we go to the San Siro. We go and win there. Even a draw, doesn't matter. But I fancy us. Listen, Serie A is a weak league, guys. It's a shit league. Slow, lethargic, defensive. None of that when it comes to playing against Chelsea. We were at the front foot. We pressed at the right time. We got ball recoveries at the right time. When we didn't get the ball recoveries, we got into a defensive phase very quickly and then tried to recover the ball. And that was the difference. That's how we played. Sometimes you don't need to press continuously and burn yourselves out, because you get more chance of getting caught out. We actually were a bit more calculated in the way we pressed. And that's what I liked about last night. And partly with Crystal Palace as well. I'm going to sort of flicker in between the 2 games, so I never did a match review for either one. Obviously, today is the one about AC Milan, and we'll delve into Crystal Palace, guys. Big up Major General N'Golo Kante. We do miss N'Golo Kante, I can't lie. I mean, him in the midfield would be fantastic, but let's ease him back. We don't want any stupid injuries. Big up William Mitchell, my geezer, my member. Glad you're back, buddy. I've took your advice and blocked all the other Chelsea content. Big up to you, geezer. Listen, they all talk nonsense. I've heard a lot of shit. I've delved into it a little bit on holiday. I've had a few people DM me. I've had some ats and that of nonsense that's been spoken about, predominantly about Minerals Mount. And I'll get into that because, let's have it right, it's piss poor, really. It is absolutely piss poor. Ben talks up to Chelsea, up to Minerals FC. Lovely to see you in here, Lee Taylor. He's our best player and the only one that comes close to silver. What are you talking about? You haven't even said anything. Let me go through down. Big up. Smash the likes, guys. Get me to the 100 likes, guys. Get me to the 100 likes. Where are we going here? Juggernaut Big says, oi, Johnny, you happy now? Son, I told you Potter's as the minerals. Let's go. But listen, he does have the minerals. I think he's got huge potential, and I've always said that. But I think last night's game took him one step closer to proving that he really does have minerals. Because that was a game where you're playing the Serie A champions, reigning champions. They got Tomori at the back, obviously. They got Lau, they got Tonoli's in midfield, all these guys that they talk very highly about. And let's have it right, we nullified them. We absolutely nullified them. They didn't really threaten us, apart from the first sort of 10, 15 minutes, arguably 20, you could say. They had a lot of good possession, but no real chance creation, in my opinion. So that's credit to the way we played and the way we set out and the way Potter set us out. But yeah, he's definitely got minerals, geezer. Nick in here, big up my geezer. I hope you're doing well. Big up, Johnny. Good to see you, mate. Lovely to see you in here, Nick. Lovely to see you. Hopefully see you soon, my geezer. Henrik says Shaw was good yesterday. I think he was good in moments. There were some moments he was a bit sloppy. Minerals for life. RC, the best right back. Bad luck for Fofana. Wish him a quick recovery and rehab. Big ups, Sakini. Story. Chronic says Pulisic on the bench for Lampard, Tuchel and Potter, but it's all the manager's fault. Deluded Yanks. Well, listen, they keep saying this nonsense, right? But if a manager's not trusting you, Lampard didn't trust him. He got him in a period, but after that purple patch, didn't really play him, didn't really trust him. And he's always injured anyway, because he's made out of biscuits. Tuchel definitely didn't trust him. And we've heard about his thoughts, Pulisic's thoughts from his novel at 23, 24 years old. Only a baby still. And then you've got Potter now not playing him at all yesterday and brought him on for the last 10 minutes. I think the issues with the player, I think we have to remember that this player didn't want to be at Chelsea this season. He wanted to leave Chelsea Football Club. And for me, when that gets out and you stay, how am I supposed to back you and respect you as a fan, as a supporter? Very difficult for me. That's why I do give it with Pulisic. I'll land it on Pulisic because he fucking deserves it. And Ziyech for that matter. Both on bench, both unhappy, both don't want to be at Chelsea Football Club, clearly. And they're still here. So the board needs to listen to Potter. If Potter doesn't play them and they're backing him with a 5-year contract, they need to get shot of him. Simple as that. But at the end of the day, I've always said it, land your minerals on the pitch. Prove to the gaffer, to your teammates, and to the fans, with your performances that you deserve to play. That it warrants you a start. And people come at Minerals, man, oh, he's got no GA. But it's not just the GA, mate. It's what he offers to the team. It's how he plays with the team. It's what he offers other than GA. And Pulisic, unfortunately, all the other attributes, they ain't there. They ain't there. Ziyech, they ain't there. And that's why they don't play. Simple as that. He says, Potter ball is looking healthy. You've got to give it to him. Yeah, of course it is. It's looking good. It's looking good. Just running through, guys. All right. So, big up William Mitchell. Thanks for your meals donation. Bit worried about Sterling, knowing product. Well, Sterling last night was very frustrating. It was a Sterling I see for England a bit last night. And also against Crystal Palace. Everyone doesn't really come at Sterling. It's not much a case of coming at him, but I think last night, for example, Minerals Mount laid him a perfect ball. Through ball, open play. He held on to it too long. Just shoot. Scored a goal. Didn't do it. A few chances in that game. He holds on to the ball too much. He tries too much. Sometimes you have to play the game simple. And other times you can do that. But he just does that continuously. And unfortunately, it slows your play down. It allows the opposition to get in their positions if the ball's in one location. Whereas if you're releasing the ball quickly and simply, the defence hasn't got any time to adjust. And that's how you hurt teams. And in positions where you know you've got no options to pass or you've got no options to shoot, then you do hold the ball and wait for a teammate to come into a position where you can release the ball and keep possession. And too many times Sterling loses the ball. It's very frustrating. That's all I can say on him, really. He played on the right. He was switched to the left. Apparently he can play all across the front, so I've been told. But I think he's more suited on the left-hand side, personally. That's where he looks more comfortable. Let me just run through. Big up to Fatter in here. Up to Chelsea. Thanks for Minnell's donation. Let's have it right. Minnell's back in the UK. Land of Minnell's on those who hate on MM19. Absolute waste men. Some of them clinical guy, etc. Toothpick. They're all trolls, them lot. You know, they're not real Chelsea fans. Real Chelsea fans just got no agendas, really. I haven't got an agenda against, say, Pulisic and Ziyech, but my only reasoning for that is that they don't want to be at our football club, clearly, and they're fucking moaners, and I can't stand that. You either put your head down and you buckle down and you train hard and you wait for your moment and you deliver. All right. If you're not doing that, he doesn't want you playing. That's my criticism on those two players. Everyone else, full backing. Those two, they got to earn my backing because I backed him from before. I backed Pulisic all the way through the last 3 seasons. I've backed this kid. I've had many debates and arguments about Pulisic on Twitter Spaces, and I've backed him. All right. Ziyech, I always knew he's problematic. I knew it's coming, it's come. So that's my justification for the way I feel, and I'm entitled to that feeling. But everyone else has got my full backing, 100%, no doubt about it. And let's have it right. Last night, what I saw last night, people were celebrating the linesman for the Mason Mount goal. A wonderful fucking goal. What a finish that was by Minnell's Mount. To slot it and tuck it in with a little dink, all right? And he was offside. And there were fans on the timeline celebrating us having a goal disallowed for offside. They are not Chelsea fans. They're the full kit wankers, the plastic wrong-uns. That's exactly what they are. And they're an absolute disgrace. So don't even follow these people. Don't entertain these people because they're not real Chelsea fans. They're just little kids or idiots, with just pure agenda. But how can you be a fan and celebrate a goal being disallowed because you hate a certain player when that goal means you go 1-0 up? It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. And it needs to be cut out of our fan base. Yeah? It needs to be cut out. But big up, Fatter. Lovely to see you in here, geezer. Indefinite. Big up to you. Hey, Johnny. When Thiago Silva goes, captain is all Reece Flames. No, I'm sorry. It's still Minnell's Mount for me. Listen, you can be the best right back in the world. Ashley Cole's the best left back in the world. Was he captain? No. I think you have to understand that there's a criteria when you're a captain, but for me, Minnell's Mount is that criteria. Mason Mount's been captain of Chelsea 4 times. Reece James has played in these games and he hasn't been captain. In fact, Mason Mount was captain all through youth and Reece James was in that team. So you work that one out, but everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but I'm telling you it's not. It's not good. Big up to Andrew Portillo. Thanks for Minnell's donation. I don't know what you want to say. Say something in the chat and I'll read it out, but you should put something in there, geezer. But thank you very much for your donation, my guy. I really do appreciate that. Top Bin's in here. Let's have it right. Pulisic body is fragile and his ego. Big up Minnell's FC. Welcome back, Johnny. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to you guys joining the stream. Obviously we're gonna have some trolls in here. Big up to all you guys trolling and do what you want to do. Big up RIP FIFA. Yes, Johnny, been a minute. How are you? I'm very well, geezer. I'm very well. Big up William Mitchell. I hope we become a team after this rock. Right, this is a very important thing. We've won 2 games now back to back. All right, after drawing against Salzburg, and who else did we draw against? We drew against someone else with Graham Potter. Or did we? No, we didn't. So we've drawn against Salzburg. And obviously we've won now against Crystal Palace, last minute limbs. and then we've won against AC Milan in a must-win game, absolute must-win game, so that helps us qualify for Champions League knockout stages. Potter has done that, and what he's done is not only with the limited time he's got with the players because of international break, he somehow managed to get 2 big wins back to back. And what that does is the most important thing, and it's something that we've lacked for a little while, is that will start momentum. And when you have momentum and you start picking up wins, that's what plays you into form. And when you get into form, anything's possible. Doesn't matter who you play, anything's possible. And he's doing it by making tweaks as well. He's switching up. He took Jorginho out against Crystal Palace. Wasn't happy with Jorginho, clearly. Jorginho killed Mason Mount in the front line and killed the front line. I think Kovacic has been a bit off it. He brought Loftus-Cheek on. Loftus-Cheek has had some lovely performances. Big up to Loftus-Cheek. Obviously wanted to stay at our football club and deservedly he's now earning his place in the side and getting starting minutes now. But it's down to his performances. That's what it's down to. If you make mistakes and you're piss poor and you don't deliver, you won't be playing the next game or you'll be subbed off. And that's what happened with Jorginho. You know, it happened. I don't hear the Jorginho stands talking about it. I don't hear him talking about it. All I hear them talking about is Mason Mount. All I hear is the Pulisic stands and all the other stands. Why is Mason Mount playing every game? Well, he plays every game because he's the minerals. He's the glue of the team. If you watched last night, and if you really watched last night, the first goal, he had the big chance. He obviously made the goalkeeper save. That was our first chance. He also created another chance through his corner with Thiago Silva. So he's great ball in. With his delivery. Then that led to Chilwell taking the second corner, which led to the Fofana goal. Big up to Fofana for that, scoring his first Chelsea goal and then minerals. And then after that, you got Mason Mount with the second goal, laid the ball through for Chilwell. Chilwell over hits it, goes to Reece James. Reece James crosses it, and Aubameyang clinical as fuck. Because let's have it right, Aubameyang wasn't in this game at all. But what you ask of your striker is that when he does get that chance, and it might be 1 or 2 chances, if he's good enough and he's clinical enough, he takes it. And he did exactly that. He did that. He's instinctive, and he had a defender in front of him, and he still got to it and smashed it at home. That's what I'm talking about. And that's his debut goal at Stamford Bridge. That's quality, you know. So this number 9 curse. Maybe it's not a number 9 curse. Maybe the number 9s that we've had have been just fucking shit. So shit that's why it's not a curse. That's why they play the way they play, because they're crap. Yeah? Morata, Lukaku, fucking piss poor. That's why. Aubameyang's wearing the number 9. He's banging in for fun at the minute. The goal at Crystal Palace, the way he chested it down, turned and smashed it in. Clinical, instinctive goal. No striker we've had like that since Diogo Costa. And obviously Didier. This is a big thing for our team now. That we've got a striker that we can sort of rely upon. And know that if he does get that one chance, he's going to score a goal. We haven't had that. Now we have that. And apparently Lukaku was the next best thing since sliced bread for Chelsea Football Club. He's going to be our Didier Drogba. He's clear of Haaland. We don't want Haaland because Haaland's only going to stay for 2 years. Look at Haaland now. Haaland is banging goals for fun. He's broken a record 3 hat-tricks back-to-back in 8 games. It's fucking ridiculous. I told everyone about Haaland. I said to you, we must go all out and get Haaland. What did they tell me? No. He's only going to stay for 2 seasons. Oh, he needs time to adjust. He can't play in possession football. Fucking hell, you're all in the mud. Every single one of you are in the mud. This guy scored what? 19 goals? 19 goals in what? How many games he played? 17 goals, 19 goals, I think I worked out. You know? And these guys were telling me about Lukaku. The cement-booted fraud. Absolutely shocking. This geezer scored 15 goals in the whole season. 2 of them against Chesterfield and Plymouth. This guy's scoring banging for fun. In possession-based team. What adaptation. If you're good enough, you're good enough. And Mr. Rory Jennings, hello, fella. Yeah, you said he's not going to get more than 15 goals. You're in the mud, son. Again in the mud. A lot of people in the mud with Haaland. Always told everyone this guy's going to bag at City. Wherever he goes, he's going to bag goals. And he's doing just that. He's doing just that. Big up to William Mitchell in here. Was happy for Trev to come on over Aspie. Yeah. I mean, listen, Potter's not afraid to make decisions. And I think Trev came on and he did very well. And this could be a great stepping stone towards Trev cementing his place in the team. We don't know yet what the extent of the Fofana injury is right now. We don't know that yet. Hopefully it's not bad. But listen, he had a strap-on brace. Yeah, that's what he had. After the game, doesn't look good. He said from laughter to tears on his caption on Instagram. So I don't know what the extent of the injury is. Hopefully it's not too bad, because crying out loud, we had this against Juve with Chilwell. We're going to have this with Fofana. Our back three finally looked really, really good. We looked great at the back. Fofana looked like he was coming more into the game after a few dodgy spells in a couple games. Didn't look quite comfortable, made a few mistakes. I think the mistake against Crystal Palace, that goal was down to him, really. And I felt like he was a bit more in his element against AC Milan. He played very well and obviously got his goal, anticipated and scored a goal. And listen, let's have it right. We've got Koulibaly that scores a goal. We got Fofana now scoring a goal. We know Trev can score a goal. We got Reece James that can score a goal. And we got Chilwell that scores a goal. Cucurella, we know he'll get a goal. And then Thiago Silva, let's credit Thiago Silva with a performance last night. The three headers he made, or was it two headers he made before we scored, making a goalkeeper save, very threatening in the air, very clever, and credit to Mason Mount's delivery, obviously. This is what it's about, and I think we've got defenders now that have got, I think, regular goals in them. It's very, very important to have. How often does Van Dijk score or Diaz score? Laporte gets a few. Stones, not many. We've got a defense line and wing back players that have the ability to score goals and versatile. I think that's very exciting, guys, and I think we need to look forward to that in the process. But let's hope for Fofana. Let's wish him well, and hopefully he does get back to recovery. And I just hope it's not an ACL or anything ridiculous like that. It'd be so unfortunate spending 75 million and for him coming to his dream club to get a fucking ACL or something like that. It'd just be disastrous. It really would, and doesn't help us in our season. You know, Nick Smith says Wolves will be a different game. We always struggle with low block teams. We haven't beaten Wolves in the Prem for 10 years. Yeah, I think it's a different test against Wolves to what we've had. But I did expect AC Milan to sit back a bit, and I think they did. They were defensively blocking a lot of shots. They blocked Mount's chance as well, and that was going in. I think it was Tomori, in fact, that blocked that one. They were defensively good, but obviously not that good for us to score 3 goals. I think we just caught them out. And I want to highlight Loftus-Cheek and Mason Mount, and what they did in the game against AC Milan, where AC Milan struggled. The positional play, so for Loftus-Cheek, very strong in the middle, quick with the ball recovery, and I noticed he was quick on releasing the ball, which was one criticism I had of Loftus-Cheek, but he was releasing the ball quicker, and he was holding on to it. He wasn't giving it away. And that's the most important thing, especially when you're playing in the middle of the park in a double six. Kovacic, again, great recovery in moments of the game. And I just think his decision-making at times wasn't there. And maybe that comes because I think he's avoiding having surgery, and he really doesn't want to have that surgery. So he's sort of like easing into the games, and I get that. I understand that. But there was a moment in the game where he broke the lines of the Milan midfield, and you had Mason Mount basically crying out for a through ball, and he went right instead, and we just ended up going back again. So there's little moments like that. Apart from that, I thought he had a very good game. But Mason Mount, no goals and assists, but let's have it right, yeah. It's what he offers to the team. Every goal, from what I know, from what I've watched, started or there was some involvement with Mason Mount in every single goal, in the way we played, the way he linked it up, the way he brought wing backs in, the way his deliverance, scoring an offside goal, having a shot from outside the box to make the goalkeeper have a save, to ignite the crowd and the team, to try and get that first goal. The through ball to Sterling, another fucking absolute world class from the left over the top ball to Reece James that went to Sterling, and he didn't take his chance. You know, these are the things that are the way he dictated the play in this game. For me was class, absolute minerals, and credit to Minerals Mount, you know. And then you've got Chilwell on the left hand side. I think, you know, he's still, you've got to understand the extent of the injury he had. It was a bad injury, and he's slowly sort of trying to get in. This is an opportunity because Cucurella's not in the side at the minute. When he comes back, I think Cucurella, you know, Potter knows about Cucurella. He might alternate them a bit more, but we have to see what happens. But Chilwell, you know, he did his job to an extent. And then we talk about the Minerals James, you know, Reece James, man of the match, deservedly, absolutely fucking world class. He had some moments he wasn't so great, but listen, it doesn't matter when you're winning 3-0 and you scored that goal. It's just like it kills the game. The 3-0 just kills the game, and you know you win the game. It's a big goal, but I think the way, let's have it right, he pocketed Leo. I mean, Leo, everyone talks about Leo and what we should sign him and this, that. Now, there's no disrespecting him. Like, I think he's quality with the ball, very skillful player. He had that chance, obviously, we all know about and we saw. But when he lost the ball on a few occasions, the geezer ain't got no fucking work rate off the ball. He was just prancing around. You can't be doing that if you sign for Chelsea. You might be able to do that in Serie A because it's a slow-paced league, but I'm always wary of buying players from Serie A. You've got too much time on the wall. Serie A makes players look better than what they actually are. Ha, ha, ha. Lukaku, the cement-booted rat. Oh, he's fucking on fire. He's scoring 40-odd goals or whatever. Yeah, in a pensioners league. He's got more time. His touch doesn't get exposed in that league. Come to Premier League, fast-paced. How's Leo going to react to that? I think Nkuku's a better shout, personally, than Leo. I think Nkuku's got more of what we want. But there's no disputing that Leo is a quality little player. But he needs to learn, mate. You know, off the ball, you've got, you know, you're chasing the game. You lost that ball. You need to go and get it back or try. And that's my only thing with Leo when I watched him. But Reece James, wonderful performance. Really composed, pocketed their main threat, really. And that's what you asked for. He bombed it up and down. He was, you know, in defensive phases, quick transition to attacking phases. That's exactly what you want. Link up with Minerals Mount, link up with Sterling. There were some lovely moments from the whole team, in fact. And I think after 3-0, you saw the way we were just passing it around, keeping possession, trying to find little pockets. And that is, it's great to see. Was it the most convincing performance? No, but we're in transition. We're in major transition. We're in an adjustment phase at the minute, and we're picking up 3 points. So I'm absolutely buzzing for it. I'm very positive. There's not really anyone I want to come out in this game. I think they all played their role. We played as a team. We had instructions from Potter. I think Potter's tactical substitutions were fantastic. He saw little areas where he wanted to tweak it, and he brought on Jorginho. And Jorginho, again, bit frustrating at times, but you know, we kept the ball, we played it around them to get out in the wide positions to try and create another attack, and these are all good things, guys. But when Georgie comes on, he's a sort of player that you want to kill the game with. You know, you want him to just keep possession, whether it's at a pace or a slow pace, doesn't matter. You know, keep possession. You keep possession, they can't score. But I think the key moment was the Kepa save, where they had that chance and the Leo chance, and we got away with those two moments. But that would have made it 1-1, and I think at 1-1, AC Milan start to believe, and if they start to believe, you know how it goes, and you have to get into that dig out your minerals phase. The mentality phase kicks in. That's what you need to do. So we didn't have that because we prevented it. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm very happy that we didn't concede. That is a massive thing for me to have a clean sheet. We haven't had a clean sheet for quite a while. So to have a clean sheet, win convincingly with a 3-0 against the Serie A champions, I think that gives us huge confidence now to go into the Wolves game, but more importantly as well against AC Milan specifically, going to San Siro. That's where you need to land the minerals. It's a different game. They've got to come at us now. They have to come at us. And we know we're good on the counter. It won't be a low block. There might be some low block setting phase, within the game, depending on how the game goes. But we will pick out those moments. And I think once we get a goal against AC Milan at San Siro, I think we can do them. And if we listen, let's have it right. We go and do a double against AC Milan. Knockout stage is not far-fetched, is it, people? I mean, let's be a bit more composed here. Let's trust our players. Let's trust this new manager now, the new gaffer in town, because I think we know we've got the quality. Our team is not a shit team. We might not have the best in every position, but I think as a first team, as a first 11, I think we are extremely strong, and we know that because we won the Champions League and the Club World Cup and all the rest. And we've got into finals. As a cup team, yes, but this is about building towards the Premier League and getting consistency. And that takes time. Potter needs time, and he needs to get the players in that he wants and then assess the players he's got now. Maybe in January, you might see players like Ziyech and Pulisic go. You might see players come in. And Cuckoo is one. Listen, I think the brown envelopes are getting ahead of themselves. I'm not excited. Listen, I'd like Cuckoo. I think he's a good player. But weren't we told he was a Tuchel signing? Target, weren't we told that? And we're still going for him. So it backs my point that I think they're going with the analytical data for players, and they're hoping that it translates to the Premier League, especially from Bundesliga and all these players. Tuchel wasn't back, guys, and Potter is getting players. He's been given players by the looks of it, and he might give his opinion through his scouting department, and his team. But slightly concerned about that. Slightly concerned. Because I think if you're giving a manager a 5-year contract, why are you not backing him? Like giving him exactly what he wants. We were told that Nkuku was a Tuchel target for next year because of his release clause. And all of a sudden now he's done a medical. But we haven't agreed a fee with is it Leipzig he's at? So we're not even in the transfer window, and they're talking about transfers. So I'm going to go clickbait material there, and I'm going to wait maybe in January if we sign him and he comes, fair play. But he can't play Champions League. If we sign him, he will only play Premier League. So let's see what happens with that. And then after that, obviously, you'll be looking at buying him in the summer. But it's too early to talk about this stuff. I don't understand it. Why are you letting it out? Just do it behind the scenes and sign him. I think this is all just a bit. Brown Everett's getting excited, in my opinion. I don't really like it. And I definitely don't trust it. Yeah. Big up William in here. Think Silva does another year if he wants. Well, his body condition is remarkable. This guy's playing so many minutes. He's generational, world class. And frankly, when he doesn't play in the back line, I think we're all concerned as fans because of what he offers. He's so good on the ball. You saw even him in the offensive phase, headering it down. He manages to make these headers in tight spaces. In defensive phases, under pressure, and he did it in the offensive phase, headering down, getting an assist for Aubameyang. Just class, mate. Absolute pure class, this player. Calby 4 says, let's have it right. Let's have it fucking right. Let's have it right. Mount released the ball quicker today. Definite. Listen, Mount was quality for me. He was an 8 out of 10 for me all day long. I thought he was fantastic. I thought everything went through him. He was quick, he was sharp. His link up was fantastic. He had big chance creation. Made the goalkeeper save, scored an offside goal. But let's have it fucking right, yeah? The legend himself, the baller that he is, the baller that he was at our football club. 356 hours, not one goal or assist in the Premier League or in any competition, was Eden Hazard. Let me just confirm that. Is it 356? I'm pretty sure it's 356. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to land it now. Yeah. Because everyone's moaning about Minerals Mount is goals and assists. 356 days, not hours, days. Eden Hazard, 356 days without scoring a Premier League goal before finding the net against Bournemouth. Mason Mount is in what, his 9th game or 8 games? And everyone's crying. Bench him, put him on the bench. He deserves the bench. He needs to be a bench player now. Yeah. Conor Gallagher scores a wonder goal. Now Conor Gallagher got to play every game. Doesn't work like that. You muppets. You're all in the mud. You don't get it. You see, you don't understand what Mason Mount does in this football team. You don't understand what he gives to the manager. You don't get it. You don't watch it. All you say is he's got no end product. When he had his first season, his end product wasn't as high, even though it beat Frank Lampard's in his first season. But he was playing fantastic other than the goals and assists. Then he has the second season. You say, oh, he's not playing like last season, but he's got all the GA. But we don't care about the GA. We want him to play how he did. And now he's not scoring GA, but he's having impact in the game. It's like, oh, where's the GA? You can never please these muppets. You can never please them because they just have an agenda. But let's have it fucking right. Minerals Mount plays in this team no matter whether he scores G on A or not, because he's the minerals, the glue, the general of this football team. Yeah? Everything runs through him. You saw it last night. And maybe you didn't. Maybe go to Specsavers and then fucking watch it and you might understand. All right? That's exactly how it goes. That's how it goes. Players like Pulisic, Ziyech, they don't offer what Mount offers. Mount off into the pockets, finding space. Do you know how difficult that was for AC Milan? That's how we were able to have quick transition. How he used to break down their attacks as well. His pressing, his recovery, his link-up play. Yeah? He started off last season like this. Didn't get GA. Ended up getting 29 GA at our football club. Was our player of the season. So, hush your beaks, yeah? Know your place. And stop all the nonsense. You look like clowns, princesses, wrong-uns, absolute tools in the game, yeah? You know who you are. But anyway, where do we play Mount, mid or attack? Both. That's the beauty of Mason Mount. Both. Last night he was in the front three, but he also dropped into the midfield to make it midfield three. Very clever. Very clever. It's what the gaffer asks of him. It's what he's good at. And it means the defenders at the start have him in the front three. But what Mount does is so clever off the ball, he gets into the pockets in between their midfield and their defence in our phases. And when it's their phases, he gets in and helps out in the midfield, recovers the ball, or gets into a position where Loftus-Cheek and Kovacic have got an outlet straight away close to them, not far out wide left, or to an Aubameyang. Aubameyang's hold-up play wasn't that great last night. His first touch wasn't there last night. He was pretty ghosted in that game, if I'm being honest. But I don't care because he's clinical. And that's what mattered. That's what I wanted to see, was the clinicalness. That was the quality there. And Sterling, hot and cold, some lovely moments and not so great moments. That's the way it is. Lee Taylor says, Mount worked hard tonight. Good shift. Mount, this is a great point, actually, Lee. Yeah. Mount, when being subbed off, told the players not to concede. He's a leader, qualities, and coaches see it. He did that. He was walking off. He was talking to all the players. He was being a leader and a captain. And I think you lot don't see it. You're all sidetracked with Reece James. And there's no disputing. I think Reece James, for me, is a vice captain. But for me, the candidate for captaincy, the minerals general, the player that takes and executes instructions, tactical instructions from the gaffer. Like Jody Morris said, like John Terry said, he sees him as the captain for England and Chelsea. Mason Mount. Mason Money Minerals Mount. Mason Money Minerals Mount. So I ain't got to worry about that. I know what's coming, bruv. I know what's coming. It's all sweet. Exactly, William. If you watch the games, you will see what does. Unfortunately, they don't want to see it, and that's the problem because they have an agenda. They've always had an agenda. Now, I want to bring up something else as well. I want to bring this up. Thierry Henry on Pulisic. At one point, you're going to have to bring something on the table. How many managers are not going to trust you? It's going to have to be you at one point to find a way. And Thierry Henry is saying it as it is, exactly what I've been saying. You know, you can bitch, you can moan about not playing and this and that. But in the day, you have to earn the trust of the gaffer. You have to earn the trust of your teammates. And let's have it right. I think he's lost a lot of trust from his teammates, knowing that he wanted to leave, knowing that he's a moaner, knowing that he talks to the brown envelopes, especially like Ziyech and Ziyech with Lukaku. There's a bit of a link up there. There's a trait. You have to deliver, irrespective of the situations. And when I made my video before Tuchel was sacked, calling out the players, asking the players to come together as a unit, all right, to put their agendas and their personal off the field or any issues they got to the side and deliver on the football pitch when it comes to the point that you're asked to come on and play and do a service to Chelsea. They didn't do that. And they're still not doing it. And that's why they don't play. That's why Mason Mount plays instead. Because he fucking wants to play at this football club. He loves his football club. It is his football club. Yeah? He's earned his right. He's got nothing to prove. All these agenda merchants, what's there to prove to you, you mugs? What's there to prove? It's never enough. It's never enough. Whatever he does, it's never enough. Because you've always made your mind up. You think you're any given moment, oh, he doesn't score a goal or an assist. Oh, I'm right about mate. You're fucking wrong. You're in the mud. You're so down in the ground, in the hole. You're trying to crawl out of the shithole that you come out of. And you only come out. What? Because of that? Ridiculous. He offers so much to this club. He's already earned it. He's the best under 23-year-old midfielder in the world, mate. There ain't no one like Minerals Mount in the world. Reece James the best right back in the world. Both generational ballers. They got Champions Leagues. Mason Mount made the biggest assist, open play assist. Sorry, correct me if I'm wrong for all the wrong uns, yeah. The biggest open play assist in Chelsea Football Club history was in the Champions League final against Manchester City, the great Manchester City. And Kai Havertz scored that goal. And that goes down in history. You can't take history away from these players. You cannot take it. Even if you want to. But then I question you as a fan, really. You know, I really do. But anyway, that is what it is. He's got nothing to prove. Pulisic has something to prove. Fucking right. Ziyech does. Sterling to an extent at Chelsea. He's done it. He's done it at Manchester City, of course. Aubameyang, yeah, he's got something to prove. He's got something to prove. And I think he's starting off very, very well. Conor Gallagher's got something to prove. And he's doing what a goal that was. That was a wonder goal, guys. It was a fucking great goal. You know, credit to the kid. And he wants to play. I want players that want to play at a football club. You know, I'm done with all these mercenaries, all these so-called players that people reach out for and say, I want him, I want him. You know, listen, Mason Mount can get minimum. He gives you a 6 to 7 out of 10 minimum. Yeah, because of what he does. All right, minimum. He never drops under that. He's just fucking everything he does is just. He's just quality, mate. You don't see it, you never will. and that's your loss. I'm not there to educate Muppets, you know. I'm not there to educate them. They can educate themselves because apparently they're so full of it, full of the knowledge and the know-how about it. But obviously not. You know, it is what it is. And that's a good point. When you talk about bad form, I don't think he's in bad form, but I think you have to understand the deficiencies in the fucking team. I think you have to understand how our setup was under Tuchel in the start of the season. We're knowing that we're not ready, and all these players that don't want to be there. You know, Jorginho is so slow in the transitional stages that kills a player like Mason Mount because he's so quick in the head and so quick to be in the positions. By the time he's in those positions, because he's so quick, the ball ain't getting to him. Too many touches by Jorginho, left and right. Kovacic, same old shit. Loftus-Cheek did it at the start of the season, you know. And now they're starting to learn, play the ball quicker, people. Play the ball quicker and you'll fucking create chances. It's speed of the ball, speed of the passing. That's what kills the opposition. It always has. It's no mystery. It's a known fact. If you play the ball quickly, the opposition's got less time to react to you. But when have we done that? When have we done that this season? That would benefit a Mason Mount or an Aubameyang or Sterling. It doesn't. So you have to question that. Question the transitional phase. That's the fucking root of the problem. But you don't want to mention that. You don't want to mention that. Big upstairs. They do see it, but there they come out and say it. Johnny is right. Yeah, facts, mate. Facts. Absolute facts. Because I think he was a panic buy. I think Zachariah was a panic buy. And the board were listening to the fans too fucking much. And I think that's dangerous. I think it's very dangerous to listen to the fan base on social media. We need a DM. We need a DM. We need a DM. Yeah. We know that, but get the right fucking DM. You bought a player that's had a struggling season. He's had a bad injury. You know, what's going on there? Why doesn't Potter play him? Maybe he doesn't think he's ready. Maybe he doesn't think, he's got time. Listen, Potter ain't got time to nurture and bed in players, mate. He's got to get results. His job's on the line, whether you like it or not. We're so-called to believe that he's been backed, but he's got to deliver. He has to get top 4. It's an absolute minimal requirement. Fuck me. Tuchel, after everything he went through, got us top 4. Even Super Frank got us top 4 with all the lack of experience. Potter's got to get top 4, and I think he will. I think Potter, if he can keep getting us a few results at the minute in this period, just before, build up a momentum, build up a belief, a team spirit, and I think we could go and do something very good this season, something very special, and we could be winning. We could be winners. Yeah. I do like him. I can't lie. I like him. And I said, even after Tuchel got sacked, I'm backing his gaffer 119% all the way. All the way. Big up, William. You know the deal. All you guys in here, the real fans, all you guys part of Minerals FC, you know about Mason Mount, guys. There's nothing to explain about Mason Mount. There's nothing to explain. Let's have a look. Big players always have something to prove week in, week out. That's top players' mentality. Exactly. I'm talking about Minerals Mount having to prove to the haters. I think he's proved enough to the haters, but unfortunately, they've got just a pure agenda anyway. So even if he goes and wins 4 Premier League titles, wins 2 Champions Leagues, they'll always bring up some nonsense. He's not Chelsea level. Shut up, Muppets. Absolute Muppets. But the problem is, we play too slow. It's always been the problem. It's always been a problem. How was obviously Reece James had a blinder last night. Where was he for England? Because I didn't see Reece James at Chelsea at England for England. I thought he played certain parts really well, but he wasn't like he was in a wing back system. That's what Southgate was playing. granted, you know, you had your Fodens and all that. Foden comes off, Minerals Mount comes on, changes the game, scores a great goal, changes the game. Instantly. And I think that's the quality of Minerals Mount. But no one want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to give credit to Mason Mount. God forbid they give credit to Minerals Mount. You know, doesn't fit the narrative, doesn't make them look hipster and cool. They've got to stand strong and stick to their nonsense agenda and be a plastic. So whatever is what it is. Big up Human Kebab in here. My geezer, welcome back. Supposed to be going to the game on Saturday, but rail strikes have killed it. Sickener. Expecting Chelsea to land the Minerals on the Wolfies. Nonetheless, I think we will, guys. I think we're going to take these 2 wins. It's going to create momentum. You know what? I've got a real confidence about us. I thought the England performances of our boys, of our Chelsea boys, we can take into the club level and for our club. And I feel like those players they're building momentum. You know what I mean? And I'm very excited. Big up Todd Bowley. Johnny, thoughts on potential and Cuckoo deal? Yeah, I'm all for it. But I think it's a lot of brown envelopes at the minute. Excuse me. There's not much to talk about. You know what I mean? So we've had the international break and they've landed this one. Getting fans excited. I'm not getting excited yet until, like I say, it's on the Chelsea website or it's officially announced that we're signing this player. You can have the medicals and personal terms all agreed. We know that as part of the deal. But the most important thing is, what's the transfer fee agreement between the 2 clubs? What's that? That's what's important. You know, that's what gets you the deal done. And right now, that's not being done, is it? So yes, I'm excited by him. I think he's a talented player. Can his form in Bundesliga translate to the Premier League? That remains to be seen. You know, it's one thing having great stats and great performances, but can you take that and, like I say, translate it to the Premier League? Because playing Bundesliga and playing Premier League, 2 different things. I'm hearing a lot of links with Bellingham. Declan Rice is back in the links as well. We know that. For me, Bellingham, wonderful player. Reece James needs to give him a call and keep hammering it, saying you need to come to Chelsea. Special little player. We know he's got minerals, and we'd have to break the bank for that one. We really would. We'd have to break the bank. Big up Edward Hogan. Big up for you. Thank you very much for your minerals donation. For me, Mason can't see a pass, but he is creative in another way. The space he takes up, the only reason he is poor this season is because we are slow. I think you have to say you can't see a pass. He does see the pass. I think last night you saw that he saw the pass on 2 occasions, and he played Sterling through. And you know his teammates let him down a lot of times. There's a lot of assists he's been robbed off already this season, and he's creative in other ways, in many ways. But the key point is what you're saying is that we do play too slow, and that hurts players like Mason Mount because we're very quick. Sterling, another one, very quick playing for City. And I think we need to address this. And I think that's the reason why Potter doesn't play Jorginho. That's why he didn't play him last night. I think he wanted to bring intensity, wanted to bring a pace about us, a speed of passing. And we did that. And that's very important. And it's not only just when you've got the ball, it's your speed when you're off the ball, in your recovery. Jorginho doesn't have that. And when you have Jorginho, not only does it slow down the ball being released to the front line or to the wing backs to attack, to get into the attacking phase, but it actually also hurts a player like Mason Mount, who has to work extra hard to help out a Kovacic who's playing next to him, or a Loftus-Cheek, who can't do it on their own. And that's the thing I took from yesterday's game. I think you needed to be very quick in the midfield. You don't want to let the Italians pass it around the middle freely and be slow on closing them down. Not so much pressing, but just closing down the pockets and the spaces. Jorginho doesn't do that. He's a sitter. He's meant to be our metronome, but even that is too slow. But when Jorginho does play, and we play with him, and it works, he's fantastic. He can be world class, but it's not always like that, and consistency is an issue. And I think you need maybe an N'Golo Kante there, who's an absolute minerals general in the middle, who can get the ball quick, recover. He just chases the ball. But you also need a minerals mount in there to fill in those pockets. If Kante's out of position chasing the ball, you know you've got a protection to Jorginho, otherwise he's left open. These are the problems. There's a lot of good qualities with Jorginho, but there's also a lot of negatives that can affect us. And most times, 9 times, 8 times out of 10, we get caught out because of it. And I think that's why he got taken out against Crystal Palace. And I think that's why he didn't play against AC Milan. So, yeah, big up to you, Geezer. Thank you very much for your donation, my guy. I really do appreciate it. Big up, my boss. Johnny was right about Uber. He would rather prefer him than Lukaku. He said it in Lewis's stream right after Man City game when we lost 1-0 at the Etihad Stadium, more like Etihad Stadium. I did say that. He's absolutely clear of Lukaku. Clear. He's got way more about him. Way more instinctive. Pace. His movement, I like. But when you talk about movement, right? Johan Cruyff, one of his famous quotes was, to be a great player is also about what you do off the ball. Great players off the ball, what you do for your teammates to get into the positions to help your teammates. It's what makes you a fucking great player. And Mason Mount is why in Holland, why he was likened to Johan Cruyff and Johan Mount, because of how he was off the ball, how he was in the pockets, his game IQ, intelligence in the game to help his teammates. And Johan Cruyff was all about, other than the other attributes of dribbling and scoring goals and shooting with the inside of his foot, which Mason Mount did against West Ham volley. You know, people were saying to me about Gallagher's goal. Mount's tried for years to score that goal. Listen, they got short memories. They not remember the goal against West Brom outside the box. What a fucking wonder goal that was. Do they not remember that there's not one player in our squad that could score the West Ham goal away at West Ham last season, over the top from Ziyech, volley, side foot volley, near post, goalie in no man's land. Yeah, very Johan Cruyff technique that. All right. And I'm going to bring up a striker now that fits this whole narrative, what I'm explaining to you about movement and how movement is key, because that cement-booted rat didn't have it. He never has had it. He's a lamppost. Erling Haaland's movement is what makes him score the goals that he scores. Sometimes as a striker, you have to create the chances yourself by your movement. And that allows your teammates to play a ball in an area, whether it's for you or not, but they know that you anticipate it and that your movement is that elite that you will eventually find that position and you score a goal. And that is what Erling Haaland's so good at. That's why he's going to be a great player. A great player. One of the best strikers in the game, because his off-the-ball movement is unbelievable for a striker. That's how you score goals. I haven't seen that in any striker apart from Costa and Didier Drogba. Even Hasselbank had movement. Do you know what I mean? You have to have that anticipation, that instinct, and just the movement alone helps your teammates. And that Mason Mount does that all the time, but he doesn't get found. Doesn't get the ball quick enough. At City, he's getting the ball quick. Haaland, they're quick in their transitional stages. That's the difference, guys. Big up to William Mitchell. Big up to Geezer for your meals donation. Zachariah seems to be next soul. Yeah, I think he's a temporary fix. He's a backup in case Kovacic and Kante get injured again. Or imagine if Kovacic has to have surgery, then you've got some sort of backup there. Whether he's not the same striker player, same type of player, but it's a backup nonetheless in the midfield area. Let me just run through, guys. Chelsea, OG, big up to you, my member. Lovely to see you in here. I feel bad for Asby, but then again, he makes a lot of money. Listen, they all make money, and their duty is to perform on the pitch. We don't care any other way. But with Asby, we know that his legs are not all there for the consistency game. Yeah, they're not there. But in big games or in moments where you need a leader and a player that knows the DNA of the club, and he's part of our history. He's won it all. He's done great things with our club. He's got that experience, and sometimes the experience is vital in the big games, maybe the knockout games. Where he comes on for 20 minutes, or you get an injury and he comes on. And he's got the experience. He knows what it takes to win. He knows he's a leader. Yeah. But in this game, it was about the pace of Leao, because Reece James was getting in very offensive stages, pushed up at the pitch. And if he doesn't get the ability to track back, Azpilicueta is left in no man's land, because Thiago Silva ain't got the legs either. Loftus-Cheek, maybe, but not really that fast. And neither is Jorginho. So Chalobah was the right call, because he's got the ball recovery. He's got the ability to buy time for James to get back into position to help him out if need be. And that's why Asby doesn't play as much, especially like yesterday's game and against Crystal Palace. And sometimes players need to be taken out to then come in and watch it. Right, so let's just run through. Yeah, Thiago, he must be on steroids. He's got the minerals, mate. That's what he's got. He's got the minerals, no steroids. Guys, 100 likes. Come on, guys. Get me to the 300 likes, people. Standard procedure. I know it's an earlier stream than normal. I wanted to do it later, but I've got some things to do. And I'm going to be coming back every day, guys. I'm going to be landing the minerals daily. We're going to get people on. We're going to have great discussions. We're going to talk. There's a lot to talk about. But I just wanted to bring it back, land it from coming back from my holiday and that. And as always, you know what I'm about. No, mate, it's not. These players don't have steroids. They just have minerals. That's what they got. They got the minerals. When I talk about minerals, they got minerals. Who was the geezer? Let me tell you. What was his name? Alex Crook on Talk Sport says, do some of those players have the minerals to get the club back where they are, where they belong, about Man United? This geezer, listen, Minerals is worldwide. Everyone knows about Minerals FC. You guys are part of Minerals FC. You're the mineral generals of Minerals FC, yeah? So we know about these people. We know apparently I'm a cult. Remember what they said about me? I'm a cult, yeah? I think they're the cult. I think they're the cult of the narrative to down tool Chelsea Football Club, right? Let's have it right. Big up, William. Here. We were heavy down right hand side. Thoughts. We were heavy down right hand side. What do you mean by that, William? Heavy down. What, as in we struggled, or what? What do you mean by that? Let me know. Big up Gavman in here. Oi, Johnny. Lovely to see you there. Big up Dills in here. We brought the pace and minerals. We destroyed the Italian champions AC Milan. Big up to you, Dills. Lovely to see you there. Nick Coy says, James, minerals. Let's have it right. We played well down the right, I think. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, well, I think we did. Look, a lot of people criticising or being negative about our result, but I don't really give a shit about the negatives. I know, right, that this team is not ready to challenge consistently, right? I know that. I know that about Chelsea. The most important thing is try and have a great cup run in all the competitions, try and win a trophy, yeah, and make sure we get top four. That's the expectation, all right? If we overachieve, fantastic. I'm all for it. And that'll be credit to our players. But my thing is, you can't be negative, because we've got a lot of flaws in our squad. We've got a lot of rebuilding to do. We've just brought in a new manager. All this stuff takes time. We've never really been given that time and longevity to build something, a legacy. I thought that was under Thomas Tuchel, and clearly not. Yeah, so it's now under Graham Potter. So what's the point of being negative after a win? We just won 3-0, a must-win game against AC Milan. The commentators were saying that the ground was very quiet. Why? We need to make it a fortress. I think everyone's a bit apprehensive. I think we don't know what to expect with Graham Potter, but I'm telling you now, he's landed it, guys. He's landed the minerals, mate. He's so calm on the touchline, very composed, a little clap like that, and that's it. You know what I mean? But you know, he's set out his game plan. He's tactically very, very efficient, very efficient, very clever. And we saw that last night. And to get a clean sheet, the only thing to be negative about is Fofana's injury. That's it. Everything else, mate, we won 3-0. We went and scored against Crystal Palace last minute winner. Aubameyang scored back-to-back goals. We're playing Mason Mount in great positions. Reece James is having a great time. He's landing the minerals. We've got our defence gelling. We've got new defenders, new players in our team. They're gelling. They're all trying to gel. Do the people not understand this? It doesn't just click of the fingers. They all start playing. You've got Sterling, Aubameyang. You've got Loftus-Cheek coming in. You've got Conor Gallagher bedding. You've got Trev Chalobah now coming back in. You've got, what's his name? Fofana, Koulibaly. These all players, new players that need to gel and learn each other and build a chemistry. It takes time. You know, we know there's flaws in our game. We know there's flaws in the team and deficiencies. But to win games while you've got that is something to be very, very happy about. Very happy about. So I'm very positive. Big up, Chronic. You know what I said. In the words of Johnny Minnels, I think Graham Potter could be the next Sir Alex Ferguson. I really do. I genuinely think that. I thought Tuchel was going to be it, and I think he had the minerals to do it, but it wasn't meant to be because the owners didn't want him. All right, we know that. But with Graham Potter, there's something about him, and I've researched him, I've watched him, I analyse him individually, and he's got these traits I like about him. But my thing is this, right? If you're giving him a 5-year contract and you're backing Graham Potter, if you've got players like fucking Pulisic and Ziyech, as an example, who are moaning, who want to play and not playing, but they're not good enough. The manager doesn't think they're good enough, doesn't trust them. What's the board going to do? Are you going to back your manager like Manchester United backed Sir Alex Ferguson? He got rid of Paul Ince. He got rid of David Beckham, Roy Keane, Jaap Stam, Van Nistelrooy. Fuck me. Great players, mate. World-class players. They got rid of them when they're winning titles because they back him. And they got out of line and he got rid of them. I want to see that under Graham Potter. If he doesn't think Pulisic is great, we know he can make us money off the field. Marketing monster he is. But if he's not delivering on the pitch and Potter doesn't want him, then you've got to cut your losses and say, we're sacrificing the off-the-field money and that global selling shirts and merchandise and this and that from the USA fan base for Graham Potter because we believe in him, we back him, and he wants to get players in that he does want to work with or that he trusts. That's the moment I will start to believe that we are truly building something with Graham Potter. Unless Pulisic comes on and he starts delivering, fair play, and he earns his right to play because he's still young. But I'm not seeing that, guys. Let's see this season. But for me, he's got one season. That's all he's got, or maybe until January. He might want to go after the World Cup. Who knows? But irrespective, he's going to play a World Cup. And let's have it right. They're at the United States USA head coach, said he's basically like, he's not that guy to dig you out. You know, he's a bit of a player that you have to have players around him. He's not that guy. He's a bit overrated. Yeah. And respect to that. I like the honesty from an American head coach. Yeah. So that's the way I look at it, guys. That's the way I look at it. Yeah, you say that, no goals and assists, but like I say to you, Eden Hazard, one of our greatest players, had 356 days without a goal or assist, and I think people forget that. Does that mean that Eden Hazard isn't generational, a world-class player? No. But when it's Mason Mount, oh yeah. When it's Mason Mount. So where's your agenda there? Your agenda's in the mud there. You've been mudded. Haters in the mud. So I'm like I say, I'm very positive, guys. I'm very positive. Let me just run through these guys. Big up to all you guys in here. Very happy that you're all here. I have to shoot off. Please, guys, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. If you haven't already, get me up to the 4K. Yeah, get me up to the 4K. Big up to every single one of you in here. I'm very happy to be back. I'm glad you're all back in here. Put your comments below at the end of the video. Give me your thoughts. Land your minerals in the comments. Spread it out. Let's get to the 4K. Big up to every single one of you in here. Up the Chelsea. Up the Minerals FC. And as always, let's have it right. Let's have it right, guys. Right, Pride of London. London is blue. Let's have it right. Up the Chelsea, up the Minerals FC. Let's go. Oh, and let's have it right. Everyone was going on about Minerals Mount with the indirect free kick. How many indirect free kicks have you ever seen gone in? Think about that for 1 second. How many goals have been scored from an indirect free kick? And you don't want to come at that. You're piss poor. You're agenda merchants. You need to wake up, smell the minerals and the coffee and all that nonsense and absolutely work out and try and understand. Yeah. And be logical. Because all this agenda stuff, it's just piss poor. It's not being a supporter, is it? Let's have it right. Up the Minerals Mount, up the Chelsea, up the Minerals FC. Fucking let's have it right. Big up to you guys. Have it right, Minerals FC. You got the minerals, yeah? Love it. Got the minerals, TT.
Oi, Johnny's got the fucking minerals, mate.